Hey, Potter, ain't you got nothing better to do than sit there sewing that shirt? Come on, help us with this wood.
Shucks, Stuart. Maybe he wants to be the best-dressed man in the outfit when we move out tomorrow.
Come on, Hill. We're gonna be on the trail a long time. Might not get a chance to do this mending for a while.
How long you figure it's gonna take to move them Indians, Potter?
I don't know, Malloy. I heard General Howard's giving them 30 days.
From here to Idaho? That's nothing.
Not for a cavalry troop, it ain't. But that's the whole tribe moving. Women, kids, horses, everything they own. Ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah, especially since they don't want to go.
Well, if somebody told me to get off my land, I wouldn't be too anxious to go either. How about you, Potter?
Looks to me like them politicians back east can't make up their mind one way or the other. First, they sign a treaty with Chief Joseph saying he can stay in the valley. Then a couple years later, they say he's got to move to Fort Lapwai. Don't make sense to me.
Well, things change in 2 years. Besides, look around. It's prime country. A lot of folks ready to settle here. The whole country's moving west. And you can't stop progress for a few Indians.
I think you're right, Stuart. If you're going to raise cattle and plant crops, it's a big investment. Folks must want to make sure their investment's safe. Can't blame them for that.
Still comes down to the same thing. Everybody's out to grind his own axe. And the ranchers and the politicians out here are no different than any place else. Move a few Indians and open up a whole new territory. That way you get to be a big hero and make a lot of money to boot. I ain't got the stomach for this kind of business.
Me either. That's a fact.
Boy, these horses were hot. Been a long day. Hey, Potter, about what you were saying. I don't rightly recall General Howard mentioning you got any choice. About the only thing I remember him saying is to move them Perce-nosed Indians from Wallowa Valley to Fort Lapwai. Unless, of course, I missed something.
Unless you two boys have left this man's army without telling us, seems to me there ain't but one thing you can do. Move them Indians, just like the general wants. Because if you don't, you're gonna get in a whole mess of trouble.
Wait a minute, Stuart. Just because a man's in the army don't mean he can't think for himself anymore. Them Indians ain't causing anybody any trouble. Why can't they be left alone to live the way they want to? They lived on this land a sight longer than any white man. Who says we got the right to walk in here and chuck them off?
And that's what everyone says. At least everyone who has power. President Grant signed the law and President Hayes wants it enforced.
Just 'cause Hayes is president, that doesn't make him automatically right, does it? Besides, he hasn't been out here. He don't know what's going on. All he knows is what them other politicians tell him.
And what about the treaties all them other presidents signed? They ought to mean something, but as far as I can figure, a treaty ain't worth the paper it's signed on. People think all you gotta do is tear it up and make a new one that suits you. And you can't run a government like that.
You sure are all fired up at a bunch of Indians, Potter. Should have been down in Oklahoma territory ways back like I was. I guarantee, if you saw some of the Indians we had to ride herd on down there, you wouldn't be so soft-headed about them.
I've been riding in Indian territory for 8 years, and I've seen the same things, on both sides. But these Nez Perce haven't had any quarrel with the white man. Not in 70 years, since white men first walked into this part of the country. But if we break them treaties we sign with them, it ain't gonna be that way from here on in. There's gonna be trouble, and you can stake your pay on it.
Sounds to me like you're saying you ain't gonna help move on them Indians tomorrow.
I tell you, Hill, I got half a mind not to. It galls me to see them cheated out of their land so that some sharpie can come out here and make a profit for himself. Indians got a right to live here if they want to. Let the settlers come in if they want. Just let them share the valley with the Nez Perce. That way everyone gets what they want and nobody gets cheated.
There's a whole lot of things that don't seem right or make sense in the Army, but orders is orders. Every pony soldier in this outfit can't decide what he wants to do and what he doesn't want.
If enough of us got together, I bet you'd think twice about it. How about you, Malloy?
Well, I'll tell you, I go along with your thinking, but orders are orders. And besides, I want to make something of myself in this army.
Don't look at me. Tomorrow I'm saddling up just like they told me to. As far as I'm concerned, moving them Indians is just another job. I don't make the orders, I just take them. Somebody else do the thinking.
Maybe so. But I got a funny feeling old General Howard ain't gonna take too kindly to privates who decline to go along tomorrow. He's got some mighty queer ideas about soldiers doing what they're told. You better sleep on it, Potter, before you do anything crazy. Because they'll court-martial you for sure if you say you ain't gonna move them Indians.
Yeah, you better sleep on it, Potter. Figure out what you're gonna do.